Alright, so hi, I'm Madeline. I'm from the Occupational Therapy Department. How are you?
Good.
Yep. Good. Alright, we're going to start today by I'm going to ask you a simple question. What do you do on a normal day? Like, what do you do every day?
When you wake up, what do you do?
Yeah.
I play.
No, what's the first thing you do on your checklist? Remember your checklist that Mommy made for you? Can you tell her what you do on your checklist?
It's make my bed.
Mm-hmm. You make your bed, then what's next?
Brush my teeth.
Okay.
And wash my hands.
Okay.
Eat breakfast.
Okay.
Clothes in the basket.
Okay. That's good. I can't believe you remember. That's really good.
Yeah.
And getting dressed.
Mm-hmm.
And brush hair.
Okay, what's after brush hair?
Put her backpack on.
Yeah, so this is a school day. That's what we do on a school day, right?
Yeah.
Put her backpack on.
Get shoes on.
Shoes and socks.
Then coat on if it's cold outside.
Okay.
And wait for the bus.
Wait for the bus. Yep.
Okay. And then you go to school?
Yep.
Go to school all day.
Where do you go to school at?
Bluefield Elementary School.
Do you like it there?
Yep.
Okay. What do you do when you get home?
Do you remember
From
your
school.
checklist when you get home? We haven't really started doing the checklist when we get home, but do you remember what's on there? What does Daddy normally have you do whenever you get home?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
Do you do your homework? Do you ever have any homework?
Say sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So usually when you get off the bus, obviously you put your backpack on the hook, right? You take your backpack and your coat off. You take your shoes off.
Yeah.
What do you do when you take your shoes off?
Put them in the what was that?
The shoe holder?
Shoe holder.
And then what do you do when you take your shoes off? After you take your shoes off and put them up, what happens next? Daddy normally make you a snack?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And then after that, you get to play, don't you?
Yep.
What do you normally do?
When you play?
Yep.
Jump on the trampoline.
Ooh, do you like jumping on the trampoline?
Yeah.
That's one of your favorite things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is your favorite thing to do during playtime? Is your class gonna see this?
Swinging.
You like to swing?
What else?
I don't know.
You love to play on your tablet.
Play on my tablet.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you eat dinner?
Yep.
And what normally happens after dinner?
Dessert.
You get dessert?
That's your favorite thing.
What do you usually have for dessert?
Chocolate granola bars.
Those are good.
You'd be loving him some chocolate granola bars.
Those are the best. Then you take a shower after that? Or a bath?
I think so.
Sometimes.
And then, do you get to watch TV before you go to bed, or you just go to bed?
Just go to bed.
Just go to bed. Alrighty.
That's a big day.
That is a really big day. Alright, so this is probably more, questions for you. Bathing and showering. See.
He doesn't do it on his own. So we just got him to the point to where, like, he can squirt the soap in his hands, and then, like, I still bathe him and brother together so they can kind of learn off each other, I guess.
Yeah.
But I tell him, okay, so, like, we go from the top to bottom, so they do their own hair. But I tell him step by step, like, what to do next. And he does it all on his own, but he just has to be
Verbally
prompted.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got to have those prompts to do it all.
Okay. What about bowel and bladder management? All.
He's pretty much, he does that all on his own.
Okay.
I do have to remind him to, like, wash his hands after the bath and like after he goes to the bathroom, and then put the lid down on the toilet seat, and
Okay.
yeah.
What about dressing?
He still struggles with that a little bit. Like, he knows how to dress himself. He just gets super frustrated. Like, if he can't get his shirt on correctly quick enough, it kind of, like, really frustrates him, is a nice way to put it. It ticks him off, yeah.
Oh, I would too.
But he can put his pants on. He struggles a little bit with, like, buttons and snaps sometimes. He struggles with socks a little bit. But we're working on those things.
Okay. What about eating?
So we've been working with OT about eating quite a bit the last couple years. He's done really good trying new foods, but he pretty much sticks with things that are room temperature, dry. We do a lot of like finger things, so like goldfish. He will eat slices of pepperoni from the fridge, which is a big thing. Drinks, he has to have something with either thickness or fizziness to it.
Okay.
So like his favorite drinks are, what are your favorite drinks?
Soda.
Root beer.
Soda!
Soda, and what else is your favorite drink?
A little bit of juice.
Do you like juice?
Very little grape juice. We just started that through quarantine. And then Pediasures. So
Okay.
like chocolate milk.
And then feeding, he's able to do that.
Yeah, he pretty much does that on his own. He still, like, even when he does eat something that he's trying, like spaghetti or something like that, he doesn't like to use utensils. So we're still working on him using forks and spoons correctly. Otherwise, he just wants to pick it up with his fingers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Mobility-wise, all okay? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, like, his balance obviously is an area of what we're working on. We're working on balance and strength and things like that. He doesn't,
Okay.
because he seems to have, like, they don't have a lot of, like, control. It's not that he doesn't have control. It's almost like, because he doesn't use it the same way that everybody else does, he doesn't have, like, the strength and the movement that normal people do. But, I mean,
Okay.
he moves okay.
Alrighty.
Huh. What do you think?
Personal hygiene, grooming.
Still working on it, kind of like the bathing stuff. He's gotten really good with brushing his teeth this year. We've been working on that a very long time.
Okay.
Teeth were a major concern, but where are you going?
Personal device care, glasses, anything like that.
We have to work on that with the glasses. He doesn't really understand that they can break and then they have to be fixed.
Yeah.
So we've gone through a few pair of glasses. He misplaces them. Like, if he takes them off at night, if he doesn't pay attention where he puts them, then he'll wake up in the morning and have no idea where they are.
Yeah.
So keeping track of them is a big thing that we're trying to work on, yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Toilet hygiene?
Kind of goes with the same. Working on that. Washing his hands when he gets done.
Okay.
He doesn't aim, but does any young boy aim? I don't think.
I don't think
they
so
do,
either.
no.
Alright, so care for others, includes selecting and supervising caregivers. So, I mean, you all. Does he care for, I know he has pets, care for his brother or?
Not really. I mean, we're trying to include, like, some household chores, so, like, feeding the pets and watering the pets. But he doesn't really have, that's not there for him yet.
Yeah.
That kind of instinct to care for something smaller than him. I mean, like, he's obsessed with, like, the animals and the pets and stuff. Like, he loves them, but he doesn't know,
Right.
like, they're fragile. You have to be careful, and they need to eat and drink and go to the bathroom. And he doesn't really get that concept yet, I don't think.
Okay. Let's see. All right, so communication management.
So, like, what?
So, I mean, is he able to communicate well with others, or?
Yeah, for the most part, he was nonverbal for a while, and then now you have to kind of, like, pull some things from him, but he's usually pretty verbal. A little too verbal sometimes, but he has a hard time expressing frustration and anger and, like, those upsetting emotions. He doesn't express very well, but usually if you kind of help him and talk him through that, he can get to the other side.
Right. So, okay, so community mobility, you know, going in the community, being able to, you know, pretty much like function in society. Is he able to do that okay, or does he get anxious, or?
Things like going to the store, those kinds of things frustrate him a lot. He doesn't like to go to many places. Like, when we get in the car, we have a limit to how many places we can go to that day because he doesn't even want to leave the house. So, God, we've been working on that forever. For a long time, like multiple years, I couldn't even take him to the grocery because he would just freak out the whole time, meltdowns the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That was when he was basically not very verbal.
Okay.
So now that he's more verbal, we can kind of not necessarily bribe him, but just kind of work him through it. Like, this is how we act in the store, you know, you can get rewarded for good behavior and things like that. Like, when we get home, you can have your tablet, or so just kind of helping him just get through it. I don't know. That's a big area that we work on still.
I understand. So health management, maintenance. Does he take medications? Is he able to, you know, do that on his own, or?
So just this past year, we've been able to do a daily vitamin. We finally found a vitamin that he can take that doesn't affect sensory, like in his mouth or whatever. And then he also takes a melatonin every night. Now, it's got to be the same brand, the same flavor, things like that. But he'll take those now on a daily basis willingly.
Okay.
But that took us years for him to get there. Like, he's 9, he just started taking the vitamin.
Right.
And then, like, when he's sick, we still struggle with medicine with that because it's got to be a certain flavor. He can only take small sips at a time. I still give him medications through a syringe. Everything's liquid. Nothing is pill form.
Okay.
Or chewable, obviously.
What kind of flavor does he like, medicine-wise? Like,
Bubblegum.
Bubblegum's his favorite.
And it's changed. Before it was grape. So everything we bought was grape.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's on this bubblegum kick. Everything he wants is bubblegum.
Okay.
So.
All right. So, you know, home establishment management, pretty much. So chores, all that. You told me some earlier. Do you have a list that he uses every morning? Every night?
So I printed him off like an AM checklist and a PM checklist. We're not super specific just because I'm trying to get him in the habit of completing what's on the list willingly. So like on the list it'll say something like help mom around the house. So like they'll have to ask me, Mom, what do you need help with? And I'll give them something like feed the dogs, go bring me the dog bowls, and then we'll feed them. And then making his bed every day, that's a big one. That's on his list. Obviously, it's not a perfect bed, but...
Yeah, is this just for, like, a structure that he has to follow?
Yes.
To make it, you know...
Yes.
Easier?
Just because he's 9 and he's never cleaned his room on his own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just trying to establish the habits of keeping things clean so he doesn't have a complete chaotic room at the end of 2 weeks that he has to clean the whole thing.
Yeah. Meal preps, cleanup, is he able to, you know, put his dishes?
No, he doesn't do any of that. He doesn't do any of that yet. I'm trying to get him in the habit of, like, throwing away his Pediasure jug when he's done with it, or throwing away a straw when it's dirty, or...
and then using utensils like you had mentioned.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah.
Utensils.
Okay. Let's see. Safety and emergency maintenance is, you know, if there's a fire, does he know all that stuff? Or does he?
So we haven't gone over things like that at home. I know that they work with him on that at school.
Okay.
Because he doesn't understand a lot of danger. We work on like looking both ways when we cross the road, strangers, things like that. We try to work on, but he doesn't. There's a lot of stuff he just doesn't get.
Right. And you said, you know, earlier with shopping, you know, when he was nonverbal at the time,
Mm-hmm.
he had a harder time going into stores.
Yeah, and I think it was just because, you know, there's so many people there, and right now he's in this phase where he doesn't like people staring at him. Like when he walks into a room that's full of people, he feels like all eyes are on him, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
So, like, if he's late to class, the teacher has to warn the class, don't. He gets overwhelmed with people saying, like, Leland, you're here, you know? Like, he gets overwhelmed with that.
Yeah.
But I think it's just all the people, the different noises, the atmospheres, and the smells and things like that kind of get to him, too.
Okay. So, rest-wise, you know, does he have any downtime during the day where he can just rest, or?
His downtime, he chooses the tablet, which is going to be changing soon. But he doesn't, his version of like taking a chill pill, you know, is like jumping on the trampoline or going to swing, like something that's stimulating, but I think it helps relax his mind because it doesn't make him anxious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anything that doesn't make him anxious, like swinging or jumping or, like sometimes he'll draw certain things, like stuff like that kind of helps him.
Okay. Sleep-wise, you know, how many hours?
He hates sleeping. Hates sleeping. He's gone through a few different phases. Right now he doesn't want to close his eyes because he's afraid he won't wake up. So, I don't know if he's afraid that he's going to miss something, but you can tell that he's physically sleepy and tired. He just doesn't want to take the time to rest. He doesn't understand that his body needs the rest so he can be up the whole next day.
Yeah.
So his down time is like it starts at 7:30, 8 o'clock is usually when he's down in his bed and he's out. Waking up can range anywhere from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay.
Usually if something wakes him up in the middle of the night, if it's not past a certain time in the morning, I can usually get him to go back to sleep. Otherwise, he's up for the next day.
Okay. So sleep preparation, you know, what does he do before bed before he's able, you know, to fall asleep? Is it?
So usually his routine is, you know, dinner, bath, bed, and then we don't really have like a specific routine. I mean, he's got his radio that he turns on every night. He sleeps with one of our dogs, which is something new the past couple months we've been trying out.
Okay.
He has a weighted blanket that we put on him, and then he takes the melatonin, which usually can kind of get him chilled. And then he sleeps with a fan.
So he likes to have, you know, noises.
Okay.
Fan, radio,
the weighted blanket, the dog.
Okay. And you said earlier, sleep participation, he has a harder time going to sleep.
Yeah,
and staying asleep.
Yeah, he doesn't like to go to sleep. Bedtime has never been one of his favorite things.
Yeah. So, you know, formal educational participation. Is he in school?
Yeah, now, obviously, he's in school in person full time. They have him in a regular ed class. And then I think for maybe like an hour or two a day, he goes to like a special ed class where they can do like stimulating things for him. But for the most part, he's with the regular students all day, every day.
Does he participate in class any, do you know?
I think a little bit, not too much. I think it's just like at home, she's got to pull him out of it, kind of.
Alright.
Where are you going? Stay down here with me. Trying to escape.
Oh, yeah. So, this is more, this is work, but employment interest, seeking, anything like that. I know he's only 9, so he's not going to need a job, anything like that.
He'll tell you what he wants to be when he grows up, but when you tell him he has to go to school for it, he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Right. Leland, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Nothing.
No, what do you want to be when you get to be a grown-up?
Stop.
No, tell me.
Fine, teacher.
A teacher? That's cool.
What do you want to teach?
Math?
Oh, you want to be a math? Do you love math?
Yes.
Is that your favorite subject?
Yes.
Grouchy.
Alright. So, for play, normally, use trampoline, loves stimulating activities, or stimulation activities. Something there. Participation in the community. What about family? How does he participate with the family? Is he shy first? Is he comfortable around everybody?
I think he's comfortable for the most part.
Okay.
Like for holidays and stuff, he'll probably answer like, "Hey Leland, hi, how are you? Good." And then he's, off in his own little world.
Yeah.
He's not usually in the mix, like when it's a family gathering or whatever, but
yeah.
I have a couple nieces and a nephew that play with him a lot. Like they're older, they're teenagers, but he'll play with them just a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Right. Friends, peers, friends.
He's got a couple friends that he'll talk about from school, but I don't know anything about them. I've never met them or anything like that, so.
Okay.
But he'll tell you he's got a good friend.
Okay.
Leland, do you have a best friend at school?
A lot.
Who's your best friend at school? What's his name again?
I have a friend named Tucker.
Tucker. And then who else is your friend?
Brody.
Shelby's your friend at school, right?
Yeah.
What about, is it Peyton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's got a couple people that he talks about, but just not a whole lot. And I think they're just like bigger kids at school that kind of hang out with him and help him out sometimes.
Okay, so Mom, on this scorecard, pretty much going to go through the exact same thing again. I won't ask, all the questions, all the details.
Okay.
Just on a scale of 1 to 10, the importance of each activity, as
like
a problem.
to me or to him?
Well,
what I feel like is important for him?
Yeah,
Okay.
that you would want him to work on, independently, or how important it is to him. So just this top one. So, bathing and showering.
Bathing and showering, it's extremely important.
Yeah. Bowel and bladder management.
10.
Dressing.
10.
Eating. Feeding. Functional mobility.
7.
Personal device care. Understand the glasses, all that.
So that's a 10.
And personal hygiene and grooming.
10.
Toilet hygiene.
10. Lord.
Alright, so his care for others.
I want to say that's 8.
Okay. Care of pets.
8.
Communication management.
8.
Community mobility.
5.
Health management and maintenance.
10.
Home establishment management.
8.
Meal preparation and cleanup.
5.
Safety and emergency.
10.
Yeah. Shopping.
5.
Resting.
10. Lord.
Sleeping.
10.
Sleep preparation.
10.
Sleep participation.
10.
Formal educational participation.
I'll probably say that's an 8.
Okay. And then we have play.
5.
Community participation.
5.
Family participation and peer.
5.
Okay. So now, out of all of those, I need you to tell me the most 5 important ones that you would want him to really work on.
So I want to say it's like the personal hygiene and
Okay.
feeding.
Okay.
Communication.
Okay.
Building relationships. I think that was part of the peer thing or whatever, but
Okay.
and probably the one about like home establishment and management.
Okay. So, the next one we're going to do is for these 5 things. What would you say his performance is at with them?
Personal hygiene, I'd give him probably a 6.
Okay. And how satisfied are you with that, or how satisfied is he with that? Like, does he want to do better with it, or would you want him to do better?
Obviously, I want him to do better, and he seems pretty positive about it, so I would say it's pretty good status. I mean, maybe
1 out of 10?
7.
7. Okay. Feeding, what's his performance on feeding?
It's getting better. I would give him a 6.
Okay, and how satisfied?
A 6, probably.
Okay. Communication performance?
I would give him a 5.
Okay. How satisfied?
5.
Okay. Building relationships,
I would
peers?
put him at like a 3.
3. How satisfied?
Not at all.
So,
1, I guess.
1. Okay.
No 0 on there.
Home establishment management.
I would give him a 5 on that. And I would give him a 6 on satisfaction.
Okay. So that means 12. 12, 7, alrighty. That is all I need from you today.
Cool. Hey, Leland, we're done, buddy. Come here.
What?
Come here, we're done.
We're
Come
done.
hang out for just a second.
You can come sit with me?
No, come sit over here. Sit right here.
Thank you for letting me ask questions.
What do you say?
You're welcome.
Are you grouchy?
Yes.
Why?
Just won't let me use the dog sound, that spinner.
It won't let you use the dog sound on the spinner? Is the dog sound broken on the spinner?
No.
You know how old that thing is?
How old?
21 years old. That was Dwayne's when he was a baby.
Whoa.
Yeah. Pretty old, huh? All right, are we done?
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You gonna push the red dot for me?
Wow.